هواداران کویش را چو جان خویشتن دارم به کام آرزوی دل چو دارم خلوتی حاصل چه فکر از خبث بدگویان میان انجمن
To you all for being here. Thank you for being here with us. We'd like to acknowledge our presence in the traditional ancestral land of the Gabrielino Tangva people's land. This land remains unceded territory. To acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal from this territory, I extend honors and respects the Gabrielino Tangva ancestors and their connection to this land. As I mentioned, we're here for International Women's Day. Wednesday, March 8th, marks a global day to celebrate women's social, economic, cultural, and political achievements. International Women's Day, as we call it IWD, very lovingly, celebrates inclusion. The video that you're going to be watching will have two amazing women. Ava is a woman from Isfahan. She does have some mobility issues, and since the struggle of women this past few months has started, she's been going out with her wheelchair and passing out flowers to women who are coming out against compulsory hijab. And you can watch the video.
I'm very emotional right now after seeing all the videos and being here with you all. I'm very happy, but if I do something unusual, please forgive me because tears might come. So for that reason, thank you very much. Norma has made it available for me, so I'm going to read it. Our church is made up people of a wide range of spiritual views and religious tradition. With Norma's permission, I'm going to add here, our church, this place, always reminds me of Rumi's famous poem that come, whoever you are, just come. That's the basic message of this place. So it is important to us to provide spaces where a wide range of beliefs and practices can flourish and where people can work for peace. Love is at the core of our common spiritual beliefs at this church, and working for social justice is our way of putting love into practice. It is an honor and privilege for the Social Justice Council to serve as hosts to this gathering of a powerful and passionate group of human rights activists with a special focus on the rights of women, girls, and diverse gender identities. Some of you know Norma, but most of you are meeting me for the first time. And I'm meeting you and your organization for the first time. Although it is the first time, I believe we will continue to see each other in the future because we share so many of the same values. And I hope you will feel free to come back to this hall and this ground whenever you want to feel the vibe of a spiritual journey embedded in social justice. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here today, and I am humbled to be included in today's program. So, I too would like to acknowledge the ancestors and all those who have come before us, our indigenous and African ancestors, all our relations, and to also acknowledge the Gabrielino and Tongva land, the unceded territory that we are gathered here today on. I believe it is extremely important for us to always walk with an awareness of those who have come before us. So today we celebrate the beauty of all women, of all kinds of women, everywhere, and the ongoing fight for our freedom. Until all of us are free, none of us are free. Can I hear you say that? Until all of us are free, none of us are free. All women of all kinds deserve to be free, and by the constitution of this democracy in progress, the opportunity to decide what, how, and who will touch our bodies should be an unquestionable right. In our country, in as many as 11 states, women do not have the right to an abortion. Preventing women and girls from accessing an abortion does not mean they stop. That's why attempts to ban or restrict abortions do nothing to reduce the number of them. It only forces people to seek out unsafe ones. So many come to this country for freedom and the opportunity. Can you hear me? So
سلام everyone. خدا کنه خوب باشین. تشکر از این پروگرام شما. روجا جان. از آرزو تشکر. Thank you guys so much. So, Aman, what a powerful word, right? It holds so much emotion. Not just pain, but hope. Today, I performed for you an improvisation. I usually am a planner. I usually like to choreograph everything months in advance. I have documents with tons of notes that I prepare. But today I really thought about it and I said, what does freedom mean for me? Freedom is not planning, just showing up because you are enough. Freedom is not worrying about perfection, because perfection is just fear in a pretty dress, right? For me, my sisters in Iran and Afghanistan, all over the world, they don't have the freedom to take up space like we do. This is why I'm about to be 49 years old, but I will never stop dancing. As long as I can take up space, engage and use the language of dance with my fellow human beings, that is when I feel free. I invite you guys, take up space, especially my sisters, take up space with your bodies, engage one another and dance. Dance is joy, dance is freedom, dance is a dream for my Afghan and Irani sisters to be free. You know, I am working on another project and I had to pick up some burqas for this project. It was a little deep for me. I have yet to put it on. I have never been this close to a burqa before. These burqas were worn by Afghan women during the first round of Taliban power. And they have stains on them still. They haven't been washed. And I don't want to wash them. But this project is really asking me to dig deep. The burqa holds so much symbolism. You know, there's a lot of pain associated with it. I want to remind you guys that, I just want to remind you, don't forget about Iran, don't forget about Afghanistan. You are a part of that story as well. I hope you enjoyed the improvisation I did today. I usually do really fun Afghan dance, but today I wanted to try something different, so thank you for letting me explore this space with you. Tashakkur.
Called me and said, Salahe, unfortunately, I won't be here, but she's sending an amazing, amazing representative here that we're going to hear, and we're going to have a conversation with her about Women's March Foundation. So without further ado, I want to introduce the panelists, amazing woman that we have, really an honor to have you here. So I'm gonna start with Judge Najla Ayubi from Afghanistan. Najla Ayubi is a lawyer and former judge and has extensive experience in the judiciary, election, human rights, and women's empowerment. She is a civil society and women human rights activist. In her current role as Chief of Coalition and Global Programs of Every Woman Treaty, Ms. Ayubi is actively working with 2,100 frontline activists in 128 countries around the globe. She served as Deputy Country Representative of the Asia Foundation in Afghanistan. Najla served as a Program Director for Law, Human Rights, the Women's Empowerment in the Asia Foundation's Afghanistan office, and co-authored the 2010-2011 survey of Afghan people. Ms. Ayubi is a former prosecutor and Commissioner of Independent Election Commission, IEC, and the Joint Electoral Management Body of Afghanistan. She has served as a legal advisor to the State Ministry for Parliamentary Affairs of Afghanistan. Ayubi was previously country director of the Open Society Foundation Afghanistan office. Ms. Ayubi also served as an executive board member of the Afghan Women's Network. Judge Ayubi was also a 2015 Woman Peacemaker in the Kroc Institute of Peace and Justice right here in California at the University of San Diego, and a spring 2017 visiting fellow at the University of Chicago Institute of Politics. Ms. Ayubi served as a consultant and member of the South Bay Professional Association, Greater Los Angeles. She's a founding and global executive director, executive member of the Women's Regional Network. Ms. Ayubi holds 2 master's degrees from the Law School of Tajikistan State University and a post-war recovery and development studies from the University of New York, United Kingdom. Thank you, Najla Jan, for being here. We're honored to have you here. Our second panelist is a younger woman that I'm very, very proud that she's part of our community, Manijeh Badi'i. Manijeh Badi'i is an associate professor of psychology and director of Master's Science in Clinical Counseling Psychology program at California State University, San Bernardino. She has worked as a licensed clinical counseling psychologist at Collaborative Psychology Group in Riverside. She earned her master's degree in counseling from St. Edward University, and she received her PhD in counseling psychology from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Her research interest includes women's resilience and empowerment, with a focus on Iranian and Latina women, as well as therapeutic needs of marginalized and underrepresented groups. Dr. Badi'i has conducted several research projects on Iranian population and has received awards of her research on Iranian activists in the 1 million signature campaign for equality. Additionally, she has been recognized for her excellence in teaching and mentoring. Her clinical specialties include LGBTQIAAP+. You know, we get more educated as we move forward with LGBT community. Individuals, Black, Indigenous people of color, and people in non-monogamous relationships such as polyamory. Her identities as Iranian American, bisexual, and femme-shaped and informed her informed her work. In her spare time, Dr. Badi enjoys retreating into nature, integrating mindfulness into all aspects of her life, and watching RuPaul dog race. Yes.
I just remember this very humbling moment when I realized, like, this whole society has had no work. So there is like this real honor of working, and it's a process to learn things. And I was so young, and just that was my first real moment of deeply understanding my privilege. And so to get to see those very baby steps, where I went to like the inauguration of a girls' school, and it was like there were 0 girls' schools in the 90s, the mid-90s onward, and during Taliban time. I got to see the opening of the girls' schools, and the girls' faces light up. I mean, it was such an honor, and I watched a generation completely rebuild their society. I can't even tell you how my mind was blown by each step that they made. Every bit of progress, they were up against such odds. They were operating in sort of a bubble of security. You know, while Afghans didn't want an occupation, this was a bubble of security, and there were promises made. You are safe. Build your free society. And I was watching this generation take that very seriously. Every relationship, they were honoring it, and they were doing it. And I watched them transform their society. And I was, you know, a friend of mine was murdered when his restaurant was attacked by the Taliban. I was with him a month earlier, sitting at a table where another friend was killed. 2 of the hotels I've stayed in suffered Taliban attacks. I've lost several friends in Taliban attacks. Some of the schools that I visited were bombed, you know, so it was like dual. It was like Taliban attacks, people dying, civilians dying, you know, in parts of the country from drones. And then you had this generation revitalizing and rebuilding in the midst of this. When the country fell and the failed Doha deal, which, you know, there were only 4 women in the room, there was barely any women involved in this decision. It was a horrible decision. And as that deal was happening, a girls' school was bombed in Kabul, and 100 Hazara girls were killed. And all these people of the different systems were like, okay, you know, we're still gonna hand this country to the Taliban. So this was devastating to see the country fall, and this, you know, 40 million Afghans and this generation lose all of that work of 20 years back to 0. It's been brutal, and now it's been 531 days since girls have been banned from secondary school. Women are banned from working, they're banned from university. There have been so many murders, you know, former Afghan National Forces members murdered, women who were protesting in the streets abducted, gang raped, murdered, girls sold into sex slavery, not to mention that there's you know, a food crisis. The economy fell, and the people are starving. It is the worst human rights disaster in the world. And my hope, though, is that millions of Afghans around the world have been organizing very well. This is how we know each other, and doing incredible work, grassroots work. And that's where we need you. We need you guys to align with us and support things like, for example, I'm going to name 4 organizations because I can vet these. Code to Inspire. My friend Fresh Defro started the first coding school for girls. Learn Afghanistan is a great organization educating girls in the country. Uplift Afghanistan is my friend's organization. She's now working to empower grassroots efforts in the country, getting, you know, loans to women for their businesses. Asil App. Asil App has been doing tremendous work in the last year and a half, getting people fed. Those are 4 organizations. There are, if we can unify, and we can connect with different activists, different people in different parts of society, different Afghans who are doing different efforts, then that chain of connection is how we empower the women and girls and young leaders on the ground in Afghanistan. And that, to me, is how we move forward. And we must get the international community to stand with Afghan women and girls and that the people of Afghanistan to protect our people and not recognize the Taliban and not allow them to do what they're doing. And so that's the call. And thank you so much for everybody's work. And I am with you. I'm with all of you guys, with my Iranian sisters as well. Thank you.
Habiba utilizes her diverse skill sets when guiding her healies through their journey to the inner ancestral world of the heart and the soul to understand the buried roots of their illness. As a survivor of many oppressive forces, she invests with great care in holding fields of safety and joy in every container, whether it is for individual sessions or communal experiences. Habiba believes that the divine is the only healer. Please put your hands together for a beautiful Habiba.
Salam everyone. My name is Habiba. I am from Syria. I am a Sufi healer, a poet, and an artist. This will be about 7 minutes spoken word and communal healing. I want to invite you to practice agency, energetically and spiritually. Decide how much you want to engage with the energy that will be flowing in the space and how much you want to stay in a state of witnessing. Let's start by visualizing 4 angels holding the 4 directions around us. And around each one of these angels, there are 4 angels holding the directions around that angel. And around each one of those angels, 4 more angels, and so on. All of these angels are gender fluid. They multiply, creating spiritual domes, weaving scarves, and the scarves and the domes coming together like big skirts. Skirts made of angels flowing in all directions, all around us, protecting us right now, like souls. I remember, the divine is the only healer, and each one of us is directly connected to her. I would also like us to visualize an orb. In the middle of the space between me and you, this orb is made of purple flames, and the flames are made of light, not of fire. The orb will expand as I speak until it reaches the angels, encompassing the whole space. Its flames do not burn, as they are made of light, not of fire, unless they are hit with prejudice. So again, practice energetic agency. Choose to what extent you want to engage with this energy and to what extent you want to just witness. And I see a cosmic river, also purple, flowing in space, not too far from Earth, filled with divine fluids that can cleanse all the pollution of our waters, all the pollution in our air, all the pollution in our lands. How to bring it down to Earth. When I say down, I think lower, When I say lower, I hear judgment. Like the lower creation, the lower desires, the lower self versus higher self, I prefer to use contracted self and expansive self. Who are the lower ones around you? Do you feel that trans women are lower than you if you are a cis woman? Do you perceive sex workers to be lower than you if you are not a sex worker? How is each one of us recreating the morality police within our being and in the way we relate to ourselves and to others? Are we building our life practices and relationships in the direction of distraction and avoidance? Or are we building our life practices and relationships in the direction of dismantling the inner police and the inherited pleasures of patriarchy?
And Baladi. Allame also paints, lives, and works as a grant writer for various community causes. So another beautiful person that you should get to know, and she is on Instagram, so you can follow her. I would like to welcome her. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being with us.
يا ميت أهلين وسهلين ومرحبا ومرحبتين. Hey! أيوة حبيبتي, thank you. My name is Nadia Farah Ademe. I am named after my beautiful teta, my grandma Nadia Smaitili. God rest her soul. And she was a feisty queen. So can I hear a cheer from you if you have a feisty queen in your life? Okay, thank you. So I am Lebanese American. My family's from Beirut, but I'm also a total nerd and also an American. But, well, like, whatever that means. It's also Lebanese. I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna start talking about something else. Okay. Thank you. Alrighty. So I'm Lebanese, but I grew up in a Syrian community in Flint, Michigan. I've been here for like 6.5 years. But when my Syrian aunties had celebrations, I don't know like the name for this, but I am inviting you to do a poem with me. So I'm gonna need your help. So we did this celebration thing where like everyone would go, ooh ha! And then somebody would like say a line, and we go, oh ha! And we'd say another line, and at the end we would say, li 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 li. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So before I get into the poem that I have for you today, which what I hope to offer today is something that I try to write for an inspirational standpoint. I'm hoping we can do 4 ohas, and then at the 5th we're gonna go li 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 li. So, are you ready? Can we do a practice oha? Ready? 1, 2. Oha! Yes! That is beautiful. Thank you. We are strong. All right, ready? And 3, 2, 1, action. We are gathered here today in defiance of our oppressors who would shackle us. And we will not rest until our sisters and brothers are out of every and each jail cell until we abolish the notion of a jail. We will not rest until we are all here together in celebration of life and joy. Our joy together is stronger than any concept of oppression or fear because love is always stronger than fear. That was beautiful, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. So with that, this is what I have for you today. I have to say, because, I mean, I want to thank you, Risha. Thank you everyone who's here today. Thank you everyone who put the event together. Thank you for everyone who came up on stage and shared important things that we need to do. What I also would like to add and share is that from one of my friends, joy sustains the revolution. And while we live in and we hold on to our loved ones and their hearts and their memories, and as they are an important part of our lives, that we also need to hold on to our right to joy and our celebration of joy in their memory and in their love together. And as we work to create a better world together, that we have the right to joy and that no one can take that joy from us. And that is victory over any struggle. And so this is for you. No, I cannot sleep just yet. I have visions to sculpt with my sisters from this mud flung at me, those thinking I would run. They did not know I rose up from this, that I have bloomed from war, that I have coaxed wildflower home from the hollow of my grief. Yes, I am strong, but I work so that my daughters will be seen without the need to be strong. I work so that they do not have to be seen to be strong. I carve these circles under my eyes so that they may have more rest. And I take rest so that I can fight another day. Yes, I am anchored in my purpose. I am rooted to my core and ready. I am well versed in storms. I tie my hands to this. I know my footing there because I have lived there. I work so that my daughters, my sons, my children can walk on land and not try to stone's throw, skip on waves. It is tiring to try to defy gravity, but the soul is untethered here. But the mind is greater than this. But I am here with my blood of the soul. I am here with hands holding me above water. I am here floating with love that defies all odds. I am here at the center of the odds, knowing that our stories are greater than numbers. I am here, guardian of my loved ones, holding steady. I am here dancing and floating. I am here fighting. I am here rested and centered and ready. I am here with you, with us. We are one. We are made of what sustains the soul. We are hands holding us above water. We are souls infinite, defying all odds. We are guardians holding steady, hearts that warm stone. We are stories greater than numbers. We are strong so that our souls do not have to be afraid to be gentle. We are circles carved into the temple of our memory in reverence to our ancestors who taught us this, that we do it all for love. Thank you.
Okay, now you know why I love her so much. So fun to have around. I think the first time she came over to my house was a Nowruz party, right, Nadia? It was Thanksgiving? Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my God, so American. Why did I do that to you? But that was fun. No, thank you everyone. This concludes our program. It is such an honor to have everyone here with us, everyone that spoke, everyone that performed, everyone that was on the panel, everybody that volunteered, dedicated their time, our amazing Pega, Mojgan, their beautiful artwork. They're still here if you want to speak with them. I would like to invite our volunteers up, if I can.
هم صدا شویم و پا به پای هم رویم و دست به دست هم دهیم و از ستم رها شویم. جهان دیگری بسازیم از برابری، به همدلی و خواهری، جهان شاد و بهتری. لا 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 لا. برای زوج رقصیدن، برای دیگر نرسیدن، برای خرج کنیدن، برای بوسیدن، برای همبندی ها مخبنده سران زندان اوین که منتظر آزادیشون، بچه های محیط زیست، ناهید تقلی که 70 سالشه، محبت شهریاری که بالای 70 ساله، مریم حاج حسینی، سپید خودیان، سمیر احسانی که دختر 5 سالش خیلی چشم راشه، به امید آزادی همشون. مبارک آزادی کرد. به عنوان یه زن کرد و به رسم سوگواری زنای کرد موامو میچینم برای دختر و پسرای پاییز 1401 خیابوناتونشون رو برای زن زندگی آزادی